afternoon, and welcome to the Lyric Professors. I am Professor A, and joining me as ever are Professor Dogger, who you can see below me and occasionally behind me, and on the other side of the world, Professor J, who looks like he's trying to make a quick exit. How are things on the other side of the world, Professor J? I can't hear you anymore.
Groovy.
I can hear you now.
There we go.
Oh, right.
It's getting warm. It's getting warm.
Really? Well, it's pouring with rain here, which is lovely.
Well, it's better than winter, right?
Yes, better than winter.
So, no guitar today, but a thing.
Oh, what is that? Oh, it's a metal thing.
The metal thing. What it is, it's a thing if you want to play slide guitar and you have a guitar where the action's too low, you actually put this on the nut.
Oh.
So it's grabbing a guitar at random. You put it on the nut like that.
That looks like a guitar, though. You told us there was no guitar.
Oh, yeah, I lied. Stick that under there and it raises the action. Voila, instant slide guitar.
I wouldn't have that problem. All my guitars have got horribly high actions, unfortunately.
There we go. You're destined to be a slide guitar player, Professor A.
Yeah, I'll try and fit that in before I die. Professor Dogger is being extremely vocal, and that could be because she's a bit confused by the name of the artist we are covering today. We are covering the artist known as Poppy, and I should point out that Professor Dogger has an aunt called Poppy, so she knows the name and is quite confused by this. Her aunt is a Labrador. It's complicated. But anyway, so yes, Poppy is the subject. What do you know about Poppy, Professor J?
Well, before my research for this, 0.
Yes.
How about you?
I have enjoyed her music for a few years, yes. Professor Dogger, you're making this quite difficult. Yeah.
So how did you discover Poppy? What algorithm suggested Poppy to you? Or not? I don't think you're the...
I was watching a professional wrestling show, which I do sometimes because I don't care if it's people rolling around in their underwear. I still find it vaguely amusing from time to time. And she was performing on this show and did a live cover of Stand and Deliver by Adam and the Ants, which I really quite enjoyed. And then I looked into other things and I enjoyed her scream metal meets pop phase. I even enjoy some of the really early reggae meets K-pop kind of rubbish. But what I've chosen for this 3-part series is the post scream metal stuff, which is I think she's most often referred to as being post genre these days because she's done everything.
Post genre. She has no
genre. It's just.
How long has she been releasing music?
Since 2014, I believe.
10 years, I guess.
Yeah, she's older than she looks. She was born in 1995, so it's nearly 30. And just her parents ran a haunted house, so which explains some of the imagery used in her videos specifically. She used to do roller derby. And her actual name, of course, is not Poppy. It's Mariah Rose Pereira, which is obviously a Latina name because that is what she is. She was born in Massachusetts. So, you really are making this difficult, Doc.
She loves the Poppy.
She does. She was a trained dancer.
That's a doggo?
Yes, yeah, too. Poppy's father played drums in a punk band. She was initially inspired by female-fronted bands such as Blondie and No Doubt.
So can you tell us the story of how she sort of became a musician? Because she's got like a back history before she got into songs, right?
Well, she used to do sort of videos on YouTube. She started off calling herself Mariah Poppy. And did lots of videos and things and uploaded songs and covers under that name. original songs and covers. And then she changed the name to That Poppy, which I really like because I call everyone that, like That Weekend and that.
Let's see you next Tuesday.
Okay, there goes the algorithm again. Yes, I don't really want to get into the whole business about her being chosen to portray a character by a chap called Titanic Sinclair, who appears to be a massive something that the algorithm wouldn't approve of. Anyone who calls himself Titanic is almost certainly a complete dick, it has to be said. So, but yes, I used to do strange songs and videos. There's lots of videos, like one of my favourite early poppy videos is called This Is a Doge, where she holds up a dog owned by her friend Simon, who we might discuss later. Simon is a woman, obviously, and says, "This is a Doge. I wish everybody could be a Doge." That got lots of hits for some reason. She has a video wherein she says, "I'm Poppy," straight for 10 minutes, and it's got 28 million views. So there you go. Yeah, I don't want to get into the whole backstory thing because it's just too complicated. It really is, the pre-music stuff and all that. But she started off producing sort of, as I said, sort of K-pop / reggae pop songs, which I don't think were particularly successful. But she was signed to Island Records, which is a big one. Her song "Low Life" was a hit single, but I haven't noted down which. And then she started to change. She had an album, her third album, or second. The first one was more of the EP. It was called "Am I a Girl?" and it has 9 or 10 songs, I think, which are the standard pop stuff she'd be doing by then. And it has a brief interlude, and it has 3 scream metal tracks because that's how you do it. And that was the change. Then there was the very successful album "I Disagree," which was released again as a deluxe edition called "I Disagree More," which had most of the hits such as "Concrete" and "I Disagree," and also a song called "Blood Money," which was awarded the best best metal performance. She was the first female solo artist to win that. I can't remember who awarded it, but it's a big thing.
Yeah.
And it was also nominated for best metal performance at the Grammys, so that's quite big. So she's won as many Grammys as Lana Del Rey, who is also claimed as an influence for her, but has been nominated for 11 less or something.
Wow.
So, as I said, the songs I have chosen are from the 2 most recent albums and the EP in between them.
Okay.
Which I think are more sort of mainstream rock, and then verging into chart-topping dance stuff on the most recent stuff.
Okay.
Yes. So, you have anything to add? I completely botched that.
No, because everything is about the only thing I'm interested in is the backstory.
Okay, well, we can talk about it. That's fine.
Let's do it another one. Let's get some lyrics in there.
Yeah, let's do it for the intro to next episode. Okay. So the first song I chose was called "Flux" and is the title track of the album after "I Disagree More." And this is a long one. This is 5 minutes, which is long for her. Thank you, Dogger. Some of them are very short, including one sub 2 minutes. Yeah. So, do you have the lyrics?
I do. I'm going.
Excellent.
My body is fluid because I've been through it all, chewed up and used. It's cut into pieces to feed them all.
Yeah, obviously, flux. Well, it has 2 meanings, doesn't it? Really, but one
being capacitor. It's a reference to Back to the Future, right?
Oh well, okay, but that could be a third meaning. The second flux obviously means movement and flowing. As you said, hence my body is fluid, but also flux is a particularly nasty disease. I believe.
Oh, is it?
Sort of plague level disease, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't noted down about it. Yes, it is. You can look that up, everyone. So it's basically about being used. This album was released just post her breakup with said Titanic Sinclair, who we'll go into more next episode. And this is presumably referring to that relationship. This album was released while she was engaged to a music star called Ghost Main, who I've never heard of, but apparently he's quite big.
He's the one who wears the cowboy hat, right? That one.
Oh, that was Kid Rock. I don't know.
No, I saw a couple of videos of him.
Right. Well, anyway, she was in a relationship with him, and this album includes what she's described as her only love song, which I didn't choose. But the next album, so this album, she's dissing Titanic Sinclair mostly. In the next album, she'll be dissing Ghostmate. So it's just the way it goes. It's inspiration. Yes. So
okay. So her body is fluid, flux.
Yes.
Chewed up and used.
I guess it's quite interesting. It's like the when the trees that bend don't break. So I've been through it all. So I've got used to moving. Yeah.
We've got an oak tree that's like that's crazy.
Really?
When there's a storm, it is terrifying, and my wife does an amazing impression of it. It looks like the thing's bending in. It's massive.
Oh well, you have to get her on to perform that impression.
Yes. Right, more words. Excuse me. For your amusement, for your confusion, guess I'll do it because I'm bored, and no attention span is shorter than mine or yours.
Yes. I take this as a kind of being a comment about embracing so many different genres. That's how I take it, but it may not be.
Okay.
The songs are designed to amuse the listeners, but also probably confuse them because it's a completely different style to the last one. Talking of the style of this song is, to me, the music is very Sisters of Mercy-ish. In fact, it's identical to the riff from We Are the Same Suzanne by Sisters of Mercy, which is a post-album song.
Yeah, I mean, let's come on to the music and the video in a bit, right?
Yes.
Okay, more lyrics. You can't oppose it. That's just how it goes. Yeah, you've got to flux and flow with it. Can't oppose it, and then repetitions thereof.
Yeah. So it's just she's in. No, don't do that. She's in a situation of flux. Things are changing all the time, and people go through things in life which they can't prevent. So they've just got to try and go with it, which is very difficult. When we
record, "Go with the Flow," was that Queen of the Stone Age?
I don't know.
What's that?
I don't know that.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. Yes, you do. As we record it, it's Mental Health Awareness Week, so I think this is something which is difficult. I mean, yes, people should adapt to situations and go with the flow, but not everyone can, and that should be remembered, especially by the UK government, who wants to say that mental health sufferers should just get over it and get back to work. So,
absolutely.
Rishi Sunak. Oh, there goes the algorithm again. I said a rude word.
Rishi Sunak's a rude word.
Bloody well should be. Yes.
Okay, more lyrics. Require no permission, just ask for forgiveness. There's no second guessing, I'm just a possession.
Yeah. And then that carries on into the pre-chorus we had before. So I'm just a possession for your amusement, for your confusion. So, yes, require no permission and just ask for forgiveness. This is an old adage. It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. It's better to apologize.
It's easier. It's easier to ask for forgiveness than to request permission.
That's the one, yes. And this is also a callback to one of her earlier songs on the I Disagree album called Nothing I Need, where she sings, I'm not going to ask permission, I'll never ask permission. So I guess that hasn't fluxed. That opinion has stayed constant.
Okay. All right. Then we've got a lot of repetition, and then we've just got a few more final words. They're a bit like a toccata and fugue, a sort of call and response.
Yeah.
It's I won't fear what I don't know. Can't oppose it. You've got a flux and flow, flow, flow. That's just how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't fear what I don't know, etc.
Yeah, there's not many lyrics in this song, and a lot of these are going to be. This is why, spoiler, we've got 13 songs in this 3-part episode.
Do you want a little word count while we're talking about it?
Yeah, sure. Oh, sorry, I've got to do something for that, haven't I? Where has it gone? There it is. Professional.
It is time for Professor J's word count.
So you'll be pleased to hear that Ben Folds is back in the house.
Yes, I thought I said that before we did this. I thought he might be. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is. Would you like to guess, Professor?
Well, there's quite a lot of words because there's a hell of a
There
lot.
are a lot of words, but how many
unique
words? How many unique words are there?
45.
No, it's more than that. It's 68, with 364 in total.
Yeah, that's some more than 500% repetition. Yes,
I like the words. I will say that. I kind of like this fluxy thing. I like this. I won't fear what I don't know. It almost feels a bit like something from June. I will not fear. I will let it pass over me. Yes, fear is the mind killer. Yeah. I like the lyrics. I think they're good lyrics.
Good. You don't like the music then?
Kind of like the rock, right? One thing that really annoys me, there's a bit with a cymbal, and the way it's produced, it's got that ducking cymbal. You know what I mean by ducking?
No, I don't.
It was kind of big in the late noughties, where when like a ducking delay is like the classic one. When you play, you have a delay noise that when something else comes back in, it goes away.
Right.
So ducking is like it's it literally gets out the way.
Right. Yeah.
So when that cymbal comes in, the cymbal's strong and the music ducks out the way when the cymbal comes in. And for some reason, since I've learnt what ducking is, I now find it really annoying. And some of the dance tunes, especially like 2010, 2011, they're really heavy into ducking, and I find it really annoys me because I can hear it.
I haven't noticed that.
Yeah, it's just one of those things I'm a bit sensitive to. I like the rock. I'm okay with it. The video is madness personified. I think it seems very classic of everything she's done. But you're saying this is after her breakup with Titanic?
Yeah.
Is he still doing the videos? Or
I don't know. It's possible. I think so. I'm not sure. It might not have been. Oh, she's definitely writing a song about ghost money, so presumably a split up with Titanic. I don't know who did the video for it, to be honest. I should probably have done that. As I have to say, we had a sort of hiatus in producing these videos due to my ill health and Professor J's work, and this research I did is years old. I forgot Neil, so I apologise for that. It was released. Well, the song was released and a video on July 30th, 2021.
I mean, it's very much in his style, right? You know, it's really, well, let's say in her style, but we know that her style is kind of from him, right?
I don't know. I think he was definitely quite controlling, but I think she definitely. I mean, it was her choice to go into the metal stuff, I believe. So, which is what she wanted to do in the first place.
Yeah. Okay.
So, would you like a quote?
Yes, please.
An interview with DIY magazine, she said, "I feel like I'm always in flux. I feel like I'd always be bending in such a way, moving and changing. I think of a rubbery kind of dancing man when I think of flux. I see it as a positive, absolutely. It's the exploring of the unknown and being willing to accept the uncertainty. It can be quite peaceful, actually."
I mean, it totally makes sense that she's doing something in flux in a DIY magazine, because flux to me means sort of home repairs and tubing and stuff like that.
I don't know. It was a DIY magazine. It's a magazine called DIY, which is presumably about music.
Yeah, which is from B&Q or Home Depot for our
Yes.
American cousins.
That could be it. Yes, it's probably about home improvements. Tim the Tool Man Taylor on it. Yeah, so that was the first track from the album. We're doing quite heavy coverage on this one album, I have to say. We're doing about, I think, 6 songs out of 9 or something.
Okay, should we dive into the next one?
Let's do it.
Lessen the Damage.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going straight into the lyrics.
Okay.
When you crossed me, didn't know what you had done. A chain reaction happened and it's too late to run.
Yeah, I think this is, again, just talking.
Ex-lover, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure if this is from her point of view or someone else's, which we will revisit in a later song this episode. I think this is probably from her point of view. The other one isn't, but it's about vengeance, pretty much. Well, we haven't got to that bit yet, but about when you're in a situation and you just lose the plot and cause damage to your adversary. Dogger, why'd you come up here? Dogger! All right. Good girl. You do that. Yeah. So,
okay, 4 words. You look at me, I look at you, and you know what I'm going to do. I think it rhymes with do. I'm going to do a poo. Is that what you're going to do?
Well, again, it sounds to me like, well, obviously it's about violence.
Sorry about that.
Yes, thank you. It's about violence.
Yeah.
Who it's directed to, I think we haven't got to the lyrics yet, which might dispute who it's directed at.
Right. Okay, so, I mean, let's go into the next lines. When I see red, I go, and the now, there's 2 ways of saying this. Is it serotonin or serotonin? Serotonin will flow. And there's no bandage to lessen the damage. So what is serotonin? Press A.
Well, obviously, you're the medical one, but serotonin is, I believe I've been on prescribed serotonin inhibitors or something.
SSRDs, like probably, right?
Yes, which is
serotonin.
For depression, anyway. But
it's serotonin reuptake disinhibitor, something like that.
Right, so it's to increase it, not reduce
I don't remember.
No, I don't know either. I just take the pills I'm given and feel sick after it. But,
so it's a neurotransmitter. I think it's a 5-HT, if I remember my
neurobiochemistry. Right, so it's sort of also allied to adrenaline. I think it's a situation. I personally, if I was trying to write these lyrics, I'd probably have said adrenaline before. The fight or flight influence. I think it's talking about.
Adrenaline is a hormone, has vascular effect, whereas serotonin has a neurotransmitter. It's a neurotransmitter, so it has a more direct effect.
Right.
Same difference. So it's something that makes you go crazy, right? So
yeah, and it's about anxiety. I think this.
Yeah.
When you're pushed into a corner, perhaps.
Yes, indeed. I like the next line, and there's no bandage to lessen the damage. I think that's
it's a sort of semi-internal rhyme.
Yeah.
I suppose age and age do have to rhyme, but it's not pronounced quite the same. Bandage and damage. I suppose it is. Yeah. She's quite physical in her songs, violence related. There's one early one where she says something like, "My body's so hard, I'm my own bodyguard," which is a rhyme and a half. There's another one where she says, "You know I'm not a pacifist." She is known to practice, I believe is it Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or normal Jiu-Jitsu? And
again?
She practices either Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Japanese Jiu-Jitsu,
really?
but I don't know which. I have it in my massive piles of notes here, but I don't know which. And she works out constantly and has in a recent interview I saw with her, she said she's got bigger biceps than anyone in her band. The rest of them all. So, yes. So yeah,
she doesn't come across like that, does she?
No, I think I've watched a few interviews with her recently, and she has such a dry sense of humour. I think she's brilliant, really good at it, but totally calm all the time as well.
I did find one video of her sort of almost breaking out of character. Oh, controversial character.
Yeah. Yeah. To be fair, that's true. When if she ever posts, she posts videos or whatever, they're normally under the name Poppy. If she ever posts something serious about a disaster or whatever, she signs it Mariah. So,
oh, really?
So yeah, that's acknowledging it's a character in the thing, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, more words is because the wicked don't ever rest, and I give as good as I get. You've got no advantage to lessen the damage. Lessen the damage.
Yeah, the wicked don't ever rest, and no rest for the wicked is from the Bible somewhere, I believe. Is it Cain and Abel? I don't know. So,
I mean, everything, pretty much everything relates to that. It goes back to the Bible eventually, right?
Or Shakespeare.
Shakespeare or the Bible, but Shakespeare probably goes back to the Bible. Either made it up or
yeah.
No rest for the wicked. I think it refers to hell, right?
I presume so. Yeah.
Where are we? Okay, more words. When I find my target, I will point and shoot. Hit you where it hurts now. Don't you try to move.
Yeah, well, she's American, so guns are going to come in at some point, aren't they?
Yeah. And I think that's it.
No, because there's
hang on.
the
There's
bridge,
the little bit at the end,
which is the bit which makes me wonder if it's her directing the violence or the violence being directed at her.
Okay, so let's do the bridge. Leave her, don't touch her. Let me be the one to destruct her.
Repeated several times, and getting a bit more screamy each time. Yes,
she does get very screamy, doesn't she?
She's got a good heavy metal scream. Yeah.
You said screamcore. I totally agree with that description.
Well, that's certainly for the early ones. I'm not sure about these. I mean, this one musically is more like Nirvana or something. That's the first one.
Have you been looking at my notes?
No, I haven't. Yeah.
On to that in a second.
Yes. Yeah, so what she said about that, there was a quote, which I probably haven't got. But anyway, she basically said that she reserves the right to do damage to herself. No one else is allowed to if she wants to destroy herself. That's her choice. But again, that as she's saying, leave her, that means that suggests to me that the violence might have been directed at her, which it certainly is in the last one we're doing today, I think, or the next one. Right. I don't know how to order the next one. There have been many allegations that Titanic Sinclair was physically as well as emotionally abusive. Whether they're true or not, I am not legally qualified to say. Yes.
I think that's all the lyrics, right?
Yes, it is.
Want to take a guess at the word count?
Well, it's less for the total. 265.
It's actually exactly the same as Flux. So it's 68. So they're both 68. But yeah, you're right. This is 270 words, whereas Flux was 364. Okay. Do you want to hear my review? Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Would you like to hear my review of this song?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, it's 3 words. Bad Nirvana cover.
Oh, it's not a bad Nirvana cover.
I mean, it has the same drum introduction to a Nirvana song. I forget which one it is.
Territorial Pissings, I think.
Yes, that's the one.
It's not a bad song at all. It's a good song.
No, it's a bad cover of Nirvana. I'm not saying it's a bad song, but it sounds like someone's trying to do a Nirvana cover and haven't quite made. I like the fact that it's fast BPM. I appreciate that. It's 182 BPM.
Really? Wow.
That's Fasty McFast face, my professorial friend.
Yes, it is indeed. Yeah, this was written with Simon Wilcox, who I mentioned, who is a woman. I've never heard of a woman called Simon before, but she is.
Never heard of a boy called Sue before.
Johnny Cash, yes.
Johnny Cash, yeah.
Yes. Simon Wilcox has written music with artists such as Nick Jonas, Enrique Iglesias, Tinashe, Demi Lovato, 5 Seconds of Summer, Britney Spears, Fifth Harmony, and DNCE, whoever they might be. Her songs have been used extensively in film and television. And she is also, as I said, the owner of Wiggy, the Doge, in Poppy's video, This is a Doge.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And she's
Is she on many of... Sorry, is she on... Does she...
She's co-written nearly all of Poppy's songs.
Right. Recently, or is that recent after Titanic?
All the way through.
Right.
They're really close friends as well, apparently. Even though Simon's a lot older, she was let's see how she is. She was
47.
47 years.
How did they meet?
I don't know.
He's Canadian.
Yes, she is. She's married to an artificial intelligence entrepreneur. Ooh!
True indeed.
So, yes. Co-writer.
She has done a lot. Paris Hilton. The Kooks.
Ooh, remember that.
Anybody I recognise? Walk Off the Earth. Great.
Oh, yeah.
So here it says the first Poppy song. Well, 2015 is about right?
Yeah. 2014. I think she did an EP in 2014. So.
Enrique Iglesias.
Yes, I said that. Yes.
Britney.
Yep, I said that too.
Nick Jonas, you said that.
She also voiced the character Phoebe in the Everybody Wants to Be Poppy web series, which again might come into it if we're mentioning the Titanic next time.
Okay. There we go. That's what do you think of these lyrics for this one?
Yeah, I think they're all right. Yeah. Rock song lyrics. We're not expecting any kind of Fish from Marillion kind of stuff.
No.
Here. I think they get the job done. I think some of the other lyrics in other songs are better. But yeah, I like this one.
Okay. All right, should we do the third one? We're doing 4 today, right?
We are doing 4 today, yes.
Okay.
This is going really quickly. I should have chosen 20, not 13.
Which one have we chosen next?
The next one we've chosen is Hysteria. This song was not supposed to be on the Flux album, but sort of a week before it came out, Poppy insisted on it being added. It was.
Yes. How many songs are there called Hysteria?
There's Def Leppard, Duff Leotard, or whatever they're called.
They're just doing a 40th, like the Cult. They're doing a 40-year anniversary thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well.
There's also Muse. That's the one.
Yes.
Right, what we got? We've got a Human League album, a Def Leppard album, a Def Leppard song, a Muse song, an Anna Abulu song, Catherine McPhee album, and a 2020 album by Chihiro Onitsuka.
Wow, there you go. I mean, you could find a list of like that for most words, I should think.
Can you find a genus of orchids?
There's a genus of orchids called Hysteria, is there?
Yes, it's a synonym of Corymbaucis.
Well, good. Thanks for that.
Okay. That's the song, right?
This has been Gardening with Professor Joe.
I've been doing lyrics. I can't say I'm in control of my moods. You light me up like a short fuse. Little girl with something to prove. Must be what I like about you.
Now, this I got most of my notes from the Poppy Wiki on fandom.
The Picky?
Yeah, probably. And they think this is from Poppy's point of view. I think they're completely wrong. And I think that's shameful for a wiki, to be honest, because it really isn't from their point of view. It's her being abused in this.
Right.
And also, apparently, Titanic used to refer to her as little girl all the time, so it's fairly obvious who it's about, with this little girl with something to prove. And also,
so why do you think it wasn't on the album first, but then she insisted it go on, just because of the breakup with
I should think
Titanic?
so, probably, yeah. And I think it was probably recorded later as well. She said that it was just done with the producer. I think it's a guy called Justin, but I haven't got his surname. I think he was the producer and also played on the album. The quote is from Spin Magazine. That one was actually Justin playing everything. That was the only exception to everything else. We were in the studio and the album's going to be 8 tracks. And I said, Justin, I think we should go for one more song. I said, I have this song. And he said, all right. And we went to the back of the studio and he pulled up a drum machine and did a beat. And I sang and he was playing guitar. We did a demo and I actually had to fly away the next morning. So he built it up from when I left and I tracked vocals remotely and flew them back. It almost has a Sonic Youth-esque vibe. I love that song. I think it's a good end to side A. Side A, final then. I don't think it sounds Sonic Youth, like Sonic Youth. I think it sounds like Blondie, but there you go.
It's a good song, this one. I like this one.
It is a good song.
My favourite one of the list, I would say.
Really?
So we think it's Titanic saying this about Poppy.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I'll do some more words. La 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 la. There's a lot of that in this song, isn't
You
there?
missed the ah at the end.
Yeah. Not sure how that affects the word count.
Yeah.
We shall find out.
And is la the same as la la la? Or are they two different words?
It's probably, the way it's written here, I've got la hyphen la hyphen la hyphen la hyphen la 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
I've got a la, then a comma,
No,
then
la,
a la.
not la.
Yeah, it's tricky, this word count business. It really is.
I think it's only going to be 1. I think it's going to be 1. Okay. That word of 5 las is 1. Anyway, the la la las. they're good. They're good la la las. She's just filling. She didn't have any words and decided,
yeah,
screw it, leave them in.
I reckon.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone has things they put in like that, except us, which is where we're going wrong, obviously.
We do any more la la woo-roos.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, more words. Can't contain my emotions. There's no box big enough to hold them. I try my best at rationalization, but there's no title for classification.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the title word there. It doesn't make no sense to me. I mean, this is all stuff.
Doesn't scan very well, does it?
No, it doesn't. I don't know what the title bit means, but this is the kind of speech you will hear a lot if you go through therapy about boxes of emotions.
Oh, really?
And and rationalizing them and processing them and classifying your feelings towards certain things.
Right.
So I think that's where that's taken from, but I just don't get the title. But anyway, again, this is the abuser giving an excuse basically for what they're doing.
Right. No title for classification. Well, it just means you can't classify them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting, right? That they're finding a excuse for their abuse. Yeah, I didn't read it like that. I think that's very apposite. Professor Apposite. Okay, more words. I didn't mean to scare ya. It's just my hysteria. I didn't mean to do you no harm. Didn't mean to hit you so hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not nice.
No, it isn't. No, not at all.
And it's sung very la la la.
Yeah, I guess that's.
Right?
I guess that probably goes with the little girl that she's been called. So she's singing the la la's like a little girl. I would have thought.
Yeah.
What is hysteria anyway, other than awkward?
Hysteria, I believe, originally was like a sort of middle age state of kind of, let's choose the word madness. It's not the appropriate thing, but it was like a.
Not really.
No, what is it then?
It comes from the Greek word hystera, which means womb,
Ooh.
as in
Means womb.
Womb, as in hysterectomy. Same.
Ah.
And it was a word used to describe an emotional woman. People
Jesus Christ.
back in the day could be committed to insane asylums with the reason hysterical, a bit too emotional. It's an absolutely horrible, anti-thingy, misogynistic word that has a real stain on the sort of character of the mental health industry over the time it's existed.
Jesus, that's awful.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, hysteria nowadays it means emotional excess, being in a state where your emotions are uncontrollable, and it's not just applied to women anymore. Obviously, as we know, because Joe Elliott from Duff Leotard was hysterical. So. Joe Elliott? I think it's Joe Elliott. Could be wrong.
It is Joe Elliott, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Dates back to 1900 BCE, and before Christ and the Egyptians.
Yeah. So yes, that's what it is.
That's horrific. The tactic was to smell or swallow unsavory herbs to encourage the uterus to flee back to the lower part of the female's. Oh my god.
Okay. Not heard of the roaming uterus theory.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
And then this is then, of course, having done that in this chorus, there's then more excuses from the abuser. Didn't mean to do you no harm. Didn't mean to hit you so hard. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so let's carry on with that. It's like a wave when it comes over me. The chemicals rage in my body. I bite my cheeks because I don't want to talk. It's hard enough just to live with my thoughts. La 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 la. Yeah, he's poor victim, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
The attacker. Yeah,
yeah. And it's true. He could be going through terrible emotional problems, but that doesn't justify.
No,
he's doing.
Absolutely does not.
And then that's the lyrics. Apart from
that's it. There's lots of
hysterias. Quite a lot of hysterias. Yes.
Hysteria or hysteria?
Hysteria. Yes. Yeah.
Def Leppard album's amazing. So good.
You like that one? I preferred the one before.
Yeah, I love it.
Pyromania.
The reason I like it is because that's how I got into Def Leppard, because the first time I was aware of them was the BBC documentary about the making of Hysteria, because it was American produced, because they were bigger in America than they were in the UK, Def Leppard, because of Photograph,
which is a fantastic song.
Yeah, and there was this BBC documentary discussing when Rick lost his arm in the and it followed his recovery and the making of the new album, and that's how I got into Def Leppard.
He completely changed the way he played drums.
Oh yeah, clearly.
But he managed to perform to the same level or better. Really.
Yeah, absolutely. So, performs in a 40th year anniversary. So yeah, amazing.
Well, some of them are dead. The original lead guitarist is dead.
Yes, I mean
Steve Clark, was it?
Something like that. I mean, he died at the age of 30, I believe, 29, 30. He'd already been kicked out of the band because he had some problems with alcohol. He'd been out of the band for a couple of years, sent to rehab, checked himself. When he was in rehab, he met a fellow rehabber and then got into the harder stuff. on and off, and then he died of he had like crazy high BAC, blood alcohol content, when he died. Yeah, sounds no loss. I mean, he left during Pyromania, I think, or during the making of Pyromania. He was not in during Hysteria.
All right. Oh, they did a song about him on the album after Hysteria called White Lightning.
Actually, I've only really ever listened to Hysteria.
Adrenaline. well, you should listen to Pyromania. It's fantastic. The whole album's great.
Yeah, I know. I know a couple of the songs.
I think they went.
And Photographs on that album.
Yes, it is. Yeah, Rock of Ages.
No, that's Hysteria. Rock of Ages. Rock of Ages. I think that's Hysteria.
It's not. It's the first song on Pyromania.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. And it's an American jukebox musical comedy film, 2012.
Okay, we seem to have got a bit off track here.
Where did we get to? Okay. Were we done?
We're done with the lyrics. Yes.
Do you want to hear the word count?
Yeah, go on then.
It is time for Professor J's word count.
How do you think it compares to the previous two, which were both 68?
I think it's less. 54.
It's the same. 3 of them are
Really?
68 words. Yeah.
Wow.
This is 68.
Hmm?
Oh, hang on. It looks like I've copied the wrong ones. 68, 270. That can't be right. Hang on a chicken picking moment. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yes, obviously. Dogger, what do you think?
Can Dogger do the word count for us?
I think she can count to about 4.
About Doge?
Yes, she's a Doge.
Rock of Ages. Okay, 79.
Oh, really? I
It's
thought it would have been
190.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was amazing that they had the same number.
Yes. Oh, well, obviously she'd have had her own algorithm if they were all the same. Yeah. I'll just read you what Poppy Wiki says about this, which I disagree with completely. It says hysteria is about Poppy being in the heat of the moment and violently reacting, then trying to explain that she didn't mean to cause the pain that she did. She addresses her thoughts and explains that she's not always in control of her own moods, which triggers her emotional outbursts. I think that's a pretty sort of tone-deaf reading of it for a wiki that is specially about that thing. But they had some fantastic information on other things, so I'm not dissing the wiki as a whole. I just think this is one useless interpretation. Yeah.
So how many of these were singles?
Pretty much everything on the album was a single, I think, at some point. Except possibly Hysteria. I'm not sure. Lessen the Damage certainly was. Flux certainly was. The third song, which we're not doing, which was a very bad Pixies by Number cover by my estimation, which is called She's So Mean. That was a single. The Poppy's Only Love Song one, I think, was a single, which is called... Oh, what's it called? For goodness sake. On the Level. So it actually has a fantastic riff in it, but the lyrics aren't great, I don't think. Can't remember what else is on the album, to be fair. But there were definitely 5 or 6 songs that were singles out of the 9 tracks on the album. She doesn't like giving you a long album. She's very sort of stingy.
How long are these albums in?
This album's about 32 minutes, if that. I think. The I Disagree was very...
32 minutes?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
I think the Zig album, which is the most recent one, is possibly even shorter.
Wow.
I don't know. They would have to look into that. It's in my oceans of notes somewhere. I've just forgotten everything.
I wonder what her live... You've just seen her live at the Fight Club, the WWE, you said?
Yeah, that was well, she only did 2 songs then. One of them was an absolute screaming metal abomination, and then there was this cover of Stand and Deliver, which was great. I've seen lots of live videos on the web.
Yeah, I've seen one or two. But...
She recently toured supporting Jane's Addiction and Smashing Pumpkins, which is the same three band show, which is a pretty big deal. Has done a tour and a single with a band called Bad Omens, which are sort of punky noisecore. They're very popular in America. I was going to include that song. Yeah, thanks, Tom. I was going to include that song, but she didn't write it, so I didn't. But it's quite good. It's called Violence Against Nature. And yeah, her live shows are good. There's constant claims that she doesn't sing and the band doesn't play, but it's fairly obvious to me that they do, and she does. She also plays bass, keyboards, guitar. So, and they say, oh, well, she's obviously not playing. Well, she's certainly, noises are coming out which match her hand movements on these things. So, yeah, I think she's quite all-round talented that way. Her drummer is fantastic if he's playing.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure he is. Yeah. Although you'd probably say his cymbals are ducking or something like that.
Well, it'd be impressive if he can duck them on his own. Ducking.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think that's fairly obvious what Hysteria is about, and I do think it's a great song. I mean, to me, it sounds very much like Blondie.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah. I concur. All right, should we do our last song for today? What have we chosen?
Today? Yes, this one is called Her, and this is the lead single from the album. As I said, pretty much every track was a single. It was also.
Hang on, sorry. I remember the reason I wanted to ask that question. Right. So this previous one was a single, right? It didn't seem to. I couldn't find a crazy video on it.
No, I haven't seen a video for either of those.
I was kind of my feeling of her sort of stuff is that it's very visual based. So I was surprised that you said it was a single when there doesn't seem to be anything.
I think so. I could be wrong. Yeah. Well, this one certainly was. This was the first single from the album, and this was going to be the title track. It was changed to the title was changed to Flux just before release. So she likes to change things around. It was also it's not this one. So that's the next EP. So yes, the on the day it was announced, she announced it on Instagram, saying, "Hi Graham, hope you're well. Her comes out on Wednesday. It's one of the most significant songs to me as a poppy." I just love that A. It's great. It's 2 years old, but still as important to me as it was the day I wrote it. So this one's an older song, which was so. Wow. So this one would have been written before she. Although it's blatantly about Titanic Sinclair. So I don't know. In fact, she wrote it before they split up and was still dissing him anyway. I don't know. Oh well.
Diss tracks are all the rage, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Dissing sells clicks or something. Alrighty, last one. Her. Shall I dive in?
Yes.
Give her a face, give her a name that isn't hers, then make her yours. Say she's adored, call her a whore, then pick her up, throw her on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously about Titanic Sinclair. Adored, Say She's Adored, was a title of a song she released in 2016 exclusively through Bandcamp. And it was removed from Bandcamp when this song was released. So, sure.
Yeah. You know why?
No, fans have speculated that this line refers to that song. I think it has a connection with something she said in that song about Sinclair, or he said about her. Who knows who wrote it? So, without knowing, be able to listen to the song, who knows? But the give her a name isn't hers. That's strange because she was calling herself Poppy before she met him.
Right.
Apparently, it was a childhood nickname. Something about the colour she dyed her hair or something. So.
Okay.
But yeah, you're right. We do have to go into the whole early stuff, don't we? But not now. We haven't got time. But
we have to address next time. We all address the big elephant in the room, the poppy elephant in the room.
In the room. Yes, but yes, she was very much groomed to be a character, and she wasn't the first one he'd done that to.
Yeah. More on the next episode.
Yes.
Okay, more words. I'm getting to know her and all of her anger. You won't recognize her if you encountered. I'm getting to know her and all of her anger, picked herself up, put her back together.
Yeah.
This is Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah, that's actually a good reference, isn't it? Apparently, I found my notes now. Apparently, she split up with Titanic Sinclair in 2019, so that was when, at the same time, she wrote this, which was 2 years before the album, which was 2021.
Right.
So, yes. And she's basically saying that she's changing completely. You won't recognise her at all. She'll be completely different, which she is in every song anyway.
Right.
And there's another song from the next EP, which we're not doing the song, but it's called Shapes. The refrain is, I'm changing shapes and you won't recognise me again. So a recurring theme. Then, of course, what we should have said, you go back to the first verse, that say she's adored, call her a whore, then pick her up, throw her on the floor. There is, of course, something called the tall poppy syndrome, where the media likes to build people up and then cut them down. So I think that's a little in joke there, perhaps.
Right. Yeah. Poppies being used as a remembrance flower is a very British thing. Were you aware of that?
Well, it's because of the Flanders Field.
Yeah, but did you know it was very... Sorry, my light's getting a bit weird. Let me turn this light on.
There you are.
Did you know it was very, very British rather than global? So
I knew it was European. I don't know this.
It's not European.
Isn't it?
It's certainly not in the French culture. They don't recognise that as anything to do with the war.
Right.
And it has a funny name, I think. Pissenlit.
Oh, really?
No, was that daffodil? Was that daisy? That's a daisy.
And this is again gardening with Professor J.
It's gardening hour. Yeah. So no, but I just in terms of poppy. If you say poppy to somebody British, they're going to instantly think of a remembrance flower.
Sure.
I would say rather. But Americans do not associate it with that, and I think it's really maybe not 100%, but it's primarily a British thing to see poppies as a thing of remembrance.
As a thing of remembrance, yes, but they do still have the flowers in America, so she could have been called that because she dyed her hair.
Indeed, but it doesn't have. For me, it's got a very maudlin association.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've known several dogs called Poppy. So
okay.
Dog owners don't think it's maudlin.
I've known a poppy.
I've not known a person called it. No,
I know a famous poppy, but we won't discuss it.
There you go.
Okay, more words. Give her a taste, take it away. Under your thumb, tell her to stay. Don't say a word, don't disobey. When she woke up, she ran away.
Well, again, it's about being held down and abused, controlled. What they call it, coercive control. Not a good thing. And obviously that was partially musical, but also personal. So, and then she opened her eyes and woke up and ran away and ended the relationship and got involved with a complete git, according to what I've read. So, women like bad boys, don't they? Apparently.
Girls like bad boys. Right. Anyway, let's not get to that. Okay. Yes, interesting word here. Run your mouth to keep her scared. You expected her to care, but when her mind made up, you were illfully prepared. You have illfully?
Not badly prepared, yeah, but it's not a common word, is it?
No, I've never. It's my first meeting
Yeah.
with this word. Hello, word. How are you?
It is a valid word. It's not a made up one. I think.
Okay.
I think. Although I was, like the word disgruntled, you presume there must also be a gruntled. But, so I don't know. Yeah. This is where we have an algorithm problem. So I'm not going to do the comment on this bit because I think it's damaging to us to use words that are perfectly normal English words, but which YouTube doesn't like. And I refuse to use their stupid playground word instead. But yes, she was being controlled in various ways, including threats of something, put it that way.
Yeah. Okay, more words. Have you observed and what have you learned? The girl that you knew will never be yours.
Yeah, I think also she's saying she's left him, but other than that, it's also the girl that you knew doesn't exist anymore, I think. I like to have you observed and what have you learned. That's a good little rhyme, even though it's not a rhyme. Good little duo of words.
It's a rhyme that's not a rhyme.
It is.
It's like a puzzle. When is a rhyme not a rhyme?
It's a meta rhyme.
Duo of words.
Yes.
I think that's it. I think that's all them words.
Yes, and another chorus. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's I mean, obviously, there's a theme to all of these songs. That will change when we get
It's
onto the
not
next.
very nice theme, is it? It's not.
No, but when you've
no.
been through this kind of thing and you've got away from it, and you're a creative person, it's probably what you're going to write about for a while.
Absolutely.
It's not the theme of all of her songs that we're going to cover, but pretty much it is of the ones on this album. So, which is just a laugh songs we're going to cover. Yes.
Do you want to talk about the video, Professor A?
I can't remember which one it is. It's so long since I've looked at it.
It's the stick girl, the little stick girls all playing flying Vs.
Yeah, it's just, I think all her videos are quite weird, but quite good.
Yeah, I would see.
Excellent.
I sneezed.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was kind of a bit boring, the video, to be honest with you. Just this, like, again, this first one we did today, what was it called? Flux. I mean, that's wacky as Waxville, but at least it's cool. This one I just found it a bit boring. This song feels a bit weird to me. I wasn't a fan of the verse, but I really liked. There's this kind of slightly I think I would say it's not diatonic note in the chorus, where it's slightly different scale. So I like the chorus, and then I like the change in the music. After it's how long is this one? It's quite long, right? But
no, it's a short one. It's under 3 minutes, I think.
Yeah, but there's the fade out. It's got like a minute and a half of fade out.
Haven't taken that in the hundreds of times I've listened. Okay.
So, well, I've only watched it on the YouTube.
Yeah. Perhaps the video version's different and has a fade out.
Yeah, so it has this bit which goes into sort of a very classical sort of igloo ghost style, so a bit like that sort of type stuff.
Right.
And then it sort of quietens down, and there's sort of like big chords, sort of long fade out, which I liked.
Cool. I don't know. Perhaps I'm just misremembering it. I'm a bit mixed up at the moment, I have to say. Yeah, so this was the first song released that she had written all by herself, no collaborators at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But what year was
that?
Not
even Simon. It was released in 2021, written in 2019.
So, and she released her first song in 2014. So, every song before then was a
collaboration. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's how it is with a lot of sort of manufactured pop stars.
And interestingly, since we're talking about Def Leppard, and I happened to be listening to something with Joe Elliott the other day, the producer, I've forgotten his name, Moth. He's got co-writing credits on the whole of Hysteria. Even though he was a producer, but he was involved in writing it. So I would say...
Lang, was it?
Sorry?
Mutt Lang produced?
Yeah, Mutt. That was the word I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're a bit... He's married to Shania Twain, isn't he? Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, I believe so. I think when you're a big enough...
made it.
Yeah. When you're a big enough name producer, you can get away with that whether you actually did write them or not. So all my production is so important to it that I have to get a co-writing credit.
Well, it was more than that. They came into the... He was really directing what was good. This riff is good. This is crap. You know, he was really sort of driving them forward from what Joe Elliott said.
Cool.
He was married to Shania Twain.
Oh,
14 years ago.
Oh well, time flies when you're having fun. Yeah. Right. So this song peaked at number 30 in the iTunes alternative charts in the United States. I don't understand how they have all these different charts in America. I don't know what the difference is. What's the difference between the Billboard chart and the iTunes chart?
Well, is
I mean, is iTunes just songs solely sold on iTunes? Then, I suppose.
Yeah, this and Billboard, I guess, is that everything?
Who knows? And do they base it on radio play as well out there? I'm not sure.
Presumably, that's what the Billboard is, right?
Yeah,
radio play. Yeah.
Yeah. A music video, which you don't like, was shot at Clapham Road Studios in London.
For this one?
And produced by Ghostman.
Yeah.
So we're hanging out in London for some bizarre reason. And it was used as background music for the makeup tutorial video Ice Queen Look with Poppy. After she split up with Titanic, she started releasing a lot of makeup videos. And the reason she said she did that was because he used to say that she was hideous without makeup.
So, right.
Yes. So
there we go.
So that's all for today, yes.
It's a difficult thing, but as you said, it's mental health awareness. So I think it's a good choice, Professor A.
Well, I didn't schedule it. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Landed on our lap.
So yeah, we have a very low amount of videos in reserve at the moment. So we shall endeavour to get one out every week, but we may have to take some short hiatuses. I'm not sure, but we will attempt to avoid that because we know how much you love us, even if the algorithm won't let you see us. So yeah, you don't have a quiz or anything, do you?
No, I heard a joke recently.
Okay, let's have a joke. Or some more gardening tips.
I'm trying to remember it. But I'm going to murder it. But what's drumming done by an ex-vice president? What drumming is done by an ex-vice president?
Who? Al Gore, Newt Gingrich? No, don't know.
Algorithm.
Oh, of course. Should have got that one. I guessed the name.
Yeah, you did pretty well to get it. You got 90% in the way there.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Did I do the word count?
No, not on this one. Oh, scroll back up.
Tap it on. Word me count. Count me words.
Lost it. There it is. It's going to be roughly the same again, I'd have thought.
It is roughly the same. So this is 77, whereas Hysteria, 79.
Right.
Oh, hang on. Let's say Hysteria was 79 unique with 190 total. Her is 77 with 199 total.
Right. Well, that's good.
So we have a range of these four songs between 68 and 79.
Oh, Ben Folds will be turning in joy in his grave.
His living grave.
Oh, he'll be such a happy boy.
I'll let him know.
Yeah, send it to him. Have him sue us. Why not? Join the crowd. Yeah. Right. So, anyway, we hope you enjoyed that. It was very disjointed at the start, I realised, because as I said, I'd forgotten everything I'd researched. And I can't really sit here reading through my notes while I'm talking. So, yeah. Anyway, good. We will be back shortly with part 2 of this. Please give us a like and ring the bell and give us a comment, because we'd like to know what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. We want to make this better for you. So it's all on you. Now get to it.
Bye-bye.